You make a choice and suddenly everyone reprimands you for it. That's wrong, or you should know better. Suddenly you're questioning everything you thought you knew and every decision you make. Is it crushing your confidence? Perhaps. But what's really going on is something 90% of people never consider. The right way or the wrong way. Both options are clear-cut, black and white, so it should be fairly obvious what the right choice is. What the heck is the right thing to do these days? Let's say an elderly person needs help crossing the street, and you choose not to help them.
Shame on you.
So it's safe to say we can assume that that is wrong to do. So in theory, the right thing to do would be to just help them out. But before you make a decision like that, you need to know why helping them is considered the right thing to do. So exactly where do we get this information from? Parents teaching their children right from wrong, schools doing the same thing, right? Systems that are designed to keep you in the right place until you're no longer the right shape for it. And then suddenly you're moved to a new one. It's like moving from school to work. They're actually extremely similar in how they teach you to behave. It's just one is without pay.
Oh, but you get paid with knowledge. Yes, A squared plus B squared equals
Put me to sleep.
There is one common denominator in all of these examples: behaviour. You can learn behaviour, and once you do, it's very hard to lose. So back to our elderly lady example, social norms dictate that doing so is the correct thing to do, so you naturally do it anyway. But what if by this point it's not a conscious decision, and really you're just on autopilot? This completely strips away what you thought was the case. You're not responding instinctively based upon your values that you've built yourself. The many years of social evolution you've experienced are whispering in your head like an itch you can't scratch. Just imagine the same thing as people reprimanding you for not going to university. It's not exactly wrong not to go. Now, despite how insane that sounds, it's far from the most shocking aspect of this behavior. Now, I'm a very passionate music guy. I love creating it. I mean, I make my own music for my YouTube videos, but ever since doing YouTube, I haven't dedicated as much time to music creation as of late. But here's the thing, that's what I was recognized for many years. People expected me to be the guy to pick up a guitar and start playing Celine Dion.
just no, thank you.
Countless questions. Why aren't you on the big stage? Yes, that would be great, but I'm doing YouTube, and that's my choice. And I'm happy with that. Was it wrong for me to choose YouTube? I mean, with that load state to watch ratio on that YouTube short, probably was. But seriously, I knew it was the right choice for me because it brought me passion. So you make a choice. Whether it's right or wrong, at this point anyway, is completely irrelevant. Let's just chuck this out the window for just a brief moment, because actually this is where a lot of anarchy comes from, and it's kind of how evil is created. What happens when someone is defiant towards social norms? They become the weirdo. Why aren't you going to university like the rest of us? Newsflash, it doesn't actually do much for you, but that's an argument for a different video. Moving on. So what we're saying here is that someone is refusing to make what others view as the right choice because they don't believe in it. Say I didn't believe in going to university. Many people would think that that decision was the wrong one to make. But if I didn't want to go, then I would have been making the wrong choice for me. Now, without getting too dark, let's dig a little bit deeper here. When we face life-threatening situations, our instinct is to protect ourselves. So in this context, your actions are deemed justified, but some people will still view it as wrong, even if it may have been necessary. We are not saying that either option is the right choice, because that is the entire point of this video. How do you determine what the right choice is here? Suddenly, if you stop believing in whether something is right or wrong, the people that still share a belief will completely disregard you. Now, while this does tell us that aligning values are very key to any human relationship, the neglect that a person feels from experiencing this sensation doesn't just create anarchy, it creates villains. Just look at characters like Henry Creel. He genuinely believed that after the Mind Flayer's exposure, everything that fed his mind was the right thing to do. To him, altering the fate of a person's life seemed completely normal to serve his greater purpose because he believed in it. Now, of course, we all thought Vecna was insane, but what if the perception was what drove Henry past the point of no return? And more importantly, did everyone's perception of Vecna intensify his actions? Now, this does not just happen in TV shows, It happens in real life. So to ground this thought in an example, think of a moment where you absolutely knew that your government failed to deliver on its promise. Maybe they raised taxes when they said they weren't going to. Or whatever it is. So then you don't believe in that cause anymore. But here's the twist. The choice you make might be wrong. For example, you might choose to react with anarchy. Perhaps you begin to challenge social norms more aggressively. But in that moment, you need a release. And suddenly, the wrong choice becomes the right one for you. But even if that's the case, what if that comes with a colossal price? So if the definition between what's right and wrong is subjective, does that mean the impact our actions have on other people matter more or less? Because the real problem, no matter what you choose, what's making what is viewed as the wrong choice will almost always negatively impact those around you. The question is, should you care? Now, before we answer this question, I've made several wrong choices in my life, as I'm sure we've all done. Growing up in school, I was different. I spoke before thinking. I was desperate to make friends and be liked. And in my early years of primary school, which for my fellow Americans would be the equivalent of elementary, I had a very difficult time doing all of that. So I acted out because I just wasn't getting anywhere. Then I grew up and went to high school, and things got much worse. Now, I wouldn't say that I brought all of the bullying on myself, but I certainly didn't help the situation. Right off the bat from primary or elementary school, I didn't want the same experience. So I made a choice. I chose to appear as the guy who takes no shit. It felt good for a while, but I knew at that moment that it was the worst decision I could have ever made. From there, everyone knew what button to press, all just to get the reaction from me. Was that the right choice? For my confidence, perhaps, for like 5 minutes. But then I lived in a shadow of my own making for the next 3 years. And that is exactly why your choices leave a mark on your legacy and who you are as a person. Now, everyone feels this, but I don't feel like it's spoken about often enough. People remember you, no matter what they say, even if they say they don't remember. The issue is they very rarely remember you by your good deeds. And more often than not, you make one slip up and suddenly you are the villain in everybody's story.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
So yes, at this point, it seems logical to make any choice you wish, regardless of its impact, because people will just hate you anyway. Wrong. There's a big nuance here. In spite of Green Goblin's wise words, I'm afraid this sets you up for a losing battle. People won't change. They will always scrutinize your worst moments, as if to say those choices define you. And unfortunately, they're not that far off from reality. Say you make a choice that is selfish. Doesn't necessarily make you a selfish person, but it definitely makes you look like one. You end your romantic relationship to pursue your career. Right choice for you, but it hurts the other person. You decide not to lend your family member money. Again, right choice for you, but it significantly damages the relationship between you. A lot of people believe that when making these choices, the good people who stick around and stay through all the ups and downs are worth your time. No matter what you choose, even if they choose to stick by you, resentment builds and builds. They may not leave, but they're certainly struggling. Nobody is going to agree with every decision you make. So really, this leaves you in a very tight position. It almost feels impossible to make the right choice. Exactly. Hate to break it to you, but you are not an AI engineered machine that is programmed to make the perfect choice 100% of the time. You are going to make choices that don't serve you best, and others that put you ahead of people. But the problem is not deciding what the right choice is to make. It's whether you're happy to continue playing the what if game. And the real danger is staying exactly where you are, making no decisions at all. Life doesn't have time for what ifs. It chucks things on your plate regardless of whether you're going to enjoy the meal. If you lived every day constantly pandering about how your choices will affect your future or how it affects others around you, you will go completely insane. If we accept the choices we make, then at least you can start actively living your life rather than passively worrying. So before you make a choice, don't panic about whether it's right or wrong, but make sure that when you do make a decision, you do it intentionally. Because if the fallout is bad and you're not prepared for that, you might just never trust any choice you make again. Well, I think that's likely the most serious video we've ever done. So it's safe to say the next one will pivot slightly. But of course, what about you? What are your experiences in this scenario? Have you ever constantly worried about a decision you're gonna make in the hopes that whatever you do decide to do, everything will work out perfectly? If you have, then please let me know in the comments. Now remember, take care, stay you, and I'll see you in the next one. And I think I've earned a little gaming session after this. Laters.